Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Regional Transportation Commission of Southern Nevada Board of Directors meeting. Ms. Quigley.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Your agenda is in order and ready for your approval.
Motion on the floor. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries.
Your second item is to receive the General Manager's report, and we do have a full and exciting report for you today. First, we have got the G.B. Henderson Education Campaign Initiative called Divide the Ride. The RTC has been working very closely with G.B. Henderson Education, an educational nonprofit foundation, on their two-week summer program involving approximately 60 middle school students from the Clark County School District. These students have spent 2 weeks developing a Divide the Ride campaign to encourage alternative modes of transportation, and this program specifically includes an Adopt a Bus Shelter program, which will allow the participating schools in the school district to create, design, and maintain a bus shelter close to their campus. I would like to recognize and thank Outdoor Promotions for partnering with the RTC and G.B. Henderson on this project. And with us today is the Executive Director, Kevin Cloud, and some of the students who will present the Divide the Ride campaign to you. Yes, thank you.
Well, first I would start by saying, for me, it won't be as important to you. I can underline how important this is to us by letting you know that I have the most important event that we have all year long happening minutes from now. So I wanted to come and say thank you to you, and then I'm going to go. We work every year with students from across Clark County. We have students from over 40 schools, and Tina undersold what she's done for us and what all of the RTC has done for us. We actually had the students come for a 5-week campaign, which all of these students did last summer. They study one issue for 5 weeks. They studied energy last year. They're studying food this year. And from that group of 120, we had 60 come back for 2 weeks to focus on this campaign based upon what they've learned. The main reason I am here is to express our gratitude for everything that all of these people at the RTC, everything that they've done for us, and that's from the top and all the way down. I really want to thank Tina Quigley, MJ Maynard. Tina came out last year and worked with our students. I am especially grateful as well to Angela Torres and Carl Scarborough, who have been just very generous with their time over the course of this last year. We work with many organizations, and I want to make sure you realize what a progressive group of employees you have at the RTC. Somebody can applaud if they want. I heard. Our foundation works here in Clark County. In the last 3 years, they've given $2 million to support public education in Southern Nevada. But we know that $2 million is not going to solve every problem in existence. The only way anything can move forward for us is with public-private partnerships. We've worked with many organizations. We're very happy to be able to work with Outdoor Promotions on this one. And no organization has gone beyond what the RTC has done for us. I am not going to talk to you about the student work because the work speaks for itself, and we have students here to talk to you about it. I would just leave with one thing. I know you'll be impressed. I hope you take pride in this work for yourself, not just because the RTC has been so involved in it, but I want you to take pride in this because the students do their own work, but they don't get here without the support of many people, like the people at RTC. You should have pride in the children of your families and neighbors, and pride in the work that can come from the schools who are in your school district, and pride in what we can do here when all these organizations work together. So thank you very much. Congratulations from me for having an organization that can do something like this, and I am going to run to my car now and go do my next event. I have seen this. I would love to stay and see this presentation. It's great. You're going to love it. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Hello, my name is Gavin Garcia. I'm here to present to you. Who's awesome? We're awesome. GB Henderson is awesome because we're not here by accident. We're here for a reason, and that reason is because we're the best in our schools, maybe even the best in our generations. GB Henderson Education is where smart people come together with other smart people to change the world. A wise man once told me that with great power comes great responsibility. So when you're smart, you shouldn't waste it. You should use it to its full extent and help people out. GB Henderson was founded in 1957 by some cool dudes in some suits. It's kind of like the X-Men school, except without all the mutants. Expressing ourselves in this campaign is very important because we shouldn't be afraid to be different. Our campaign is based on kids being different to make a future for the next generation. Some people may not call us superheroes. We may not fly like Superman or have a utility belt that has everything like Batman, and we may not run as fast as the Flash, but we are superheroes. We are the superheroes of hope. We will be the hope in a city full of darkness and put-downs. You can't do this. You can't do that. You will never become this. But we can. We can do this. We can build a better, bigger, and brighter future than ever before. We can change his dream into reality. We can be the leaders and forerunners that can make this happen. Some of us may even end up here at the White House, maybe mowing the lawn, or you might work in the Oval Office, dusting the president's desk. Some of us may actually become government officials one day, and we will be changing American lives by creating new laws. Some of us have the excuse of not having enough time. There's always something for every minute of the day. Their schedule is always filled, and they always put something off and never get to accomplish it. But that's wrong. We need to do it now. Some people have the excuse of fear, but we need to become fearless, because when we become fearless, we can change the world. And this is the opportunity GB Henderson Education has gave us. Thank you. What time is it? Ukulele time. What time is it? Ukulele time. What time is it? Ukulele time. It's time to get down and it's time to get real. I'm going to start by singing a song. But first, let me mention that the food is great. Everyone is unique. Everyone is different, but still, we are GBHE. We are powerful. We are leaders. We can change the world. I learned that we can impact people's lives and the way that they think. This program pushes me to do greater than what I already am. We are powerful. We are leaders. We can change the world. I won't forget PE, especially in dodgeball or when we run our laps. I like the RTC and the YAC. It was like OMG and colon parentheses. We are powerful. We are leaders. We can change the world.
my name is Michelle Fawn, and basically, Divide the Ride is a campaign created by GBHE Energy Scholars, and our mission is to encourage alternative methods of transportation in order to decrease our CO2 footprint. We have many goals we want to accomplish during the Divide the Ride campaign. We want to reach out to our target audience, middle, high school students, as well as their parents. We want to increase ridership of all the different types of alternative transportation and promote energy conservation. By doing so, we are accomplishing the other goals of reducing our CO2 footprint, traffic congestion, health problems, and vehicle-related fatalities. We want our generation to take ownership of within their community and environment by using alternative transportation. This will not only accomplish our goals, but benefit the students as it increases their independence regarding transportation. We are partnering with the RTC, the Regional Transportation Commission of Southern Nevada, as well as the CCSD, Clark County School District. The RTC is making the large contribution of new bus shelters, as well as letting us use their commute tracking device. And CCSD has been gracious enough to feature our campaign within their schools and allowing their students to participate in our design and commute contest.
This year, participating schools of the Divide the Ride campaign will be granted a new bus shelter for the students to design. Not only will the students be in charge of designing the structure, but they'll also have to maintain it. By taking ownership in this process, we feel that the students will gain a connection of transportation and their environment. This connection is necessary to change our actions. In order to see if this campaign is a success, we will also be recording our members' use of alternative transportation. The students can swipe their DTR card at one of the school's Veriphones, text, or use our website, www.dividetheride.org. The means of transportation we will be tracking are public transit, walking, biking, skateboarding, and roller skating. This year, the Divide the Ride campaign will be implemented into 2 schools, one on the east and one on the west, middle or high school. To make sure that this campaign is properly carried out, we will be giving each school a copy of the guidebook, which clearly states the requirements, campaign contracts, and the timeline. We have given you each a copy today.
We think this campaign will be successful as we have created an incentive for students to participate. Aside from the incentive of being healthier and more environmentally friendly, we will have a contest for the schools at the CCSD in the CCSD. The contest will be the school that has the most creative bus shelter design, best maintenance, and largest use of alternate modes of transportation, that they will win the contest. Alternate modes of transportation have many benefits to its users, and we want to share those benefits with younger generations. At the conclusion of the G.B. Henderson Education Program, we will create a Youth Advisory Council that will collaborate with the Regional Transportation Commission of Southern Nevada. This YAC will be comprised of energy scholars who will help the 2 schools with their commitment to the Divide the Ride campaign. The campaign encourages alternate modes of transportation. One way we encourage alternate modes of transportation is through the use of complete streets. Complete streets are designed and operated to enable safe, attractive, and comfortable travel for all modes of transportation, including pedestrians, bicyclists, motorists, and public transport users. Complete streets are a necessity to this community and a vital part of our program. Thank you for your time.
An encore, Gavin, an encore.
Love the RTC. We help the community. Love the RTC. We love green energy. Love the RTC. It starts with you and me. We are the people and we need to decide how we will live our everyday lives. Will we live in a world that is full of pollution? Here is a solution. Love the RTC. We help the community. Love the RTC. We love green energy. Love the RTC. It starts with you and me. Need to go to work or play at the park? Let the RTC be the start. We're trying to help everybody be part of a better community. Love the RTC. We help the community. love the RTC. We love green energy, love the RTC. It starts with you and me. Our voices will be heard. Our actions will be seen. We will shape the next generation to inspire the nation. Love the RTC. We help the community. Love the RTC. We love green energy. Love the RTC. It starts with you and me. Love the RTC. We help the community. Love the RTC. We love green energy. Love the RTC. It starts with you and me.
Tina, I hope we have this on video. Yeah, Tina, we need to sign him up and get a recording contract with him.
That's,
That's true. Yeah, there's his mama. Yeah, good job, mama.
Gavin, if Gavin, Michelle, and the other two speakers that we didn't get their names, come on up. If you could just again put your name on the records, where you're going to school, what grades, just to get some recognition. All four, come on up here.
My name is Michelle Fan. I go to Escobedo Middle School, and I'm going into 8th grade.
I'm Danielle Oberlander. I go to Hyde Park Magnet School, and I'm going into 8th grade.
Hi, my name is Shah Ahmad, and I'm going into 9th grade at ATech.
My name is Gavin Garcia, and I go to Silvestri, and I'm going to 8th grade.
Very good. And we saw Gavin's mom, I think. Are there any other parents here? Please stand up and be recognized. And the group behind you, Gavin. You must be the executive producer. Or
I'm the partnership coordinator. I've been working with these students for the past 2 weeks, as well as the RTC since February, and it's been quite a journey. And these 2 weeks, I think they've been so successful. I honestly think this event is much more successful than the event that Mr. Cloud ran to. But these are our other two students. We had a total of 56 that were part of the campaign. We couldn't invite all of them because it would take this entire meeting, but I'll let them introduce themselves.
And your name for the record?
Oh, I'm Ashley Greenstein.
Thank you, Ashley.
Oh, you're welcome.
Hello, I'm Max Polster. I'm going into 8th grade, and I am going, well, I was recently at Levin, and I am now going to Dawson, Alexander Dawson. My name is Max Polster, yet again, and I was part of the marketing group.
So where can we buy the CD?
I think it's right out in the lobby. It's down the hall.
Hi, I'm Zach Weaver. I'm going into 9th grade at ATech, and it's gonna be awesome.
Wow. Comments from the board.
As a middle school teacher, I am so proud. Thank you. Thank you to all of you, because you are our future, and too often the press doesn't cover the good things, and you're part of the good things. And to the families that support these young people during this, and the businesses, thank you so much.
Tina, whoever follows this act, I
I think it's just us.
sorry. Lois?
How impressed I am as an educator, as a citizen. I'm trying to remember what I did at that age. I don't think I came out of the wallpaper at that age. And look at this, so fantastic. It's wonderful. It makes you feel so good the rest of the day, and I hope you have continued success.
It would seem to me that the RTC now has a new campaign theme. You know, we love the RTC. And
We love RTC.
Arts are alive in Las Vegas as well.
Well, as much as GB Henderson expressed their appreciation to RTC, I can assure you the feeling is mutual. We are so lucky that these kids got to choose any social aspect that they wanted to address as part of their project, and they chose alternative modes of transportation, which tells me that in our young people today, that is important to them. The fact that they would choose this, they would give up 5 weeks of their summer to dedicate to this project is a big deal. So I'm excited. That is important to them. I think it means it's important to the next generation, and we look forward to working with them in helping change the world. So thank you so much, Ashley, Gavin, Michelle, Danielle, and Shaw. Thank you.
We'll be singing that song all night.
All right, our next item is not as exciting. In fact, maybe even a little sad. We've got our Director Susan Martinovich. This is her very last RTC meeting with us. She has been an amazing partner over these past few years, and I think I can speak really at a national level. We are the fact that we've got a relationship with our DOT, an MPO and a DOT, you guys probably know, traditionally they are not always on the same page, do not always have the strong partnerships and relationships that we have had with our Department of Transportation. And I think all of us really do see Susan as being the leader, the pioneer in establishing that relationship. And from here on out, we know that that partnership will continue. She really understands the value of communication and sharing ideas and listening. And Susan, we are going to miss you terribly. So with that, we would like to present you a plaque. And maybe we're going to do a picture? Yeah.
Might have to work on it. Better bring Gavin back. Gavin, we may need assistance. Thank you. We'll get you a seat.
Susan,
Thank you. And I will be riding that ride coming up again.
Good. Are you doing the 102?
I'm doing 122.
You go. Wow.
In theory.
Okay.
In theory. You know, I believe that what makes us is the people that we cross paths with. And I am just so proud of being part of this team and the relationships that we have built. And Tina's right, and with Tina and Jacob and Mike and Fred and all of you, that when I do travel in my national travels, that I am always bragging on the relationships that we have built up. And we may not always agree, but that's what keeps it fun. And at the end of the day, we always have the same goal. How do we produce good, quality projects for the citizens of Nevada and the people who come and visit our state? And to have that goal and that partnership is tremendous. And I am just going to miss all of you. I could tell stories about every one of you and our partnerships. And you know, Chairman, I know that you and I worked very closely on building the 95 West Leg, and you gave me marching orders way back when as get that project done. And you know, it's just, I'm excited, but very. This is the fun stuff and what we've done and what we've accomplished. So I thank you, Tina, and your staff, and I know without question and without doubt that NDOT is in a good place under the new leadership of Rudy
That's the
Malf.
next slide.
Oh,
Don't-
sorry.
don't give it
That whoever the new person is, no, but that it's good, and I know that those partnerships will be maintained. And if they're not, let me know, because I can take care of that. But no, without doubt. So thank you very much for your support, and thank you very much for the partnership. And I really believe that Southern Nevada and we're a team, and we're all looking out for how do we keep moving this great state forward. So thank you.
Thanks, Susan. Well, not all is lost as we bid farewell to Susan Martinovich, because we have coming to us as our new NDOT director, Rudy Malfabon. Rudy has been in Southern Nevada working with us for 9 years, so we are excited to welcome him. Is he here?
He's here. Stand up, Rudy.
Tina, take it a step further. Let's get him on the record early.
Oh, God.
Who is this shadow in the background of that photo? Is that?
That's his muscle.
He's everywhere. He's everywhere.
I set him up and he knocks him down. I'm the straight man. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thank you, Tina. Thank you, Susan. I'm looking forward to continuing that partnership with RTC. It was a grueling interview process, but I'm glad it's over with. Now the real work begins, and I'm looking forward to working with all of you. Thank you.
Thanks, Rudy.
Like I said, Rudy's been in Southern Nevada in his role for about 9 years, so he has keen understanding about Southern Nevada and the issues facing us, so we're excited he brings that knowledge to his position. Next slide. Oh, a bit of good news. We got about $5 million from the U.S. Department of Transportation for a State of Good Repair grant, and we'll be using that to purchase additional CNG vehicles to replace some of our older diesel vehicles. They're 60-foot. Let's see, what else can I tell you about them? It was a grant where it was an 83 to 17% grant, so we did have to come up with a local match of 17%, but that's really not much. So very excited about that. Next slide. All right, so I kind of feel like we need drum roll or fireworks or something associated with this next agenda item. For a long time, our riders have been asking for this, you have asked for this, the public in general has asked for this and waited in anticipation of this. This is what we call our new Ride Tracker smartphone application, wherein you will be able to be at your bus stop and you'll be able to push a few buttons, enter in what bus stop you're at, and you'll be able to find out how many more minutes until your bus is arriving. And this is a really big deal for riders. For those of you who have ridden transit, you know that waiting for your bus is a very uncomfortable feeling when you don't know. You have to get somewhere and you don't know. Is it coming? Is it late? Did I miss it? And so this application really gives you a sense of assurance. And there's some things that I want to tell you. Well, first, let's go ahead and go to the video, and then I'll talk more about it. This is how it's going to work. This is a video that we did in-house. So you pause it right there. So he's at his stop. He knows what stop number he's at by the sign. He gets on his smartphone, punches in the number, the bus stop number, and then, within just a few seconds, that text, but he found out that his bus was in fact on time. So it'll be available coming the end of this month, the 29th of this month. And there's something I want to share with you about this, is that this was developed entirely by our in-house staff, which is a big deal. Because this, when we first started looking into this, about a year and a half ago, 2 years ago, because we knew our public wanted it, we were getting cost estimates from vendors and programmers for about $250,000, plus annual fees up to $100,000, plus equipment that needed to be installed on the vehicles at a cost of $20,000 a vehicle, plus a monthly cellular fee. Actually, they had a cell phone bill associated with each vehicle, so about $50 a month for each vehicle. So the fact that we've been able to do this in-house is absolutely huge, and I'd like to recognize the programmer who came up with this, Pete Kohler. But Pete had a lot of help and a lot of support, so I'd also like to recognize we have a very small, lean, but passionate IT group, and I'd like for them to stand up and be recognized as well. So it's a big deal in the transit world, and we have no doubt that we'll probably get some coverage of it from industry magazines, and we're very excited to get that coverage. The unveiling of this application will be also tied into our new website unveiling. Here's a screenshot of it. Get the next slide. Okay, and you can see the kind of the taupe, the sepia area is the background area, and depending on where you move the mouse, whether you're interested, right now the mouse is over cycling, which is why that green bike lane is highlighted, and then it will take you to the cycling page. Likewise, if you had your mouse over the transit, it would take you, where the bus is, it would take you directly to the transit page. It's a very clean, graphically comfortable website splash page and make it much more user-friendly for our users. So we're excited about that. And again, that will be unveiled August 29th.
Excuse me, Commissioner G.
Thank you. When you say unveiled August 29th, so the app will be, is it a charge? Is it something that tourists could access as well?
Yep.
I remember 2 years ago when I got back from Boston, I'd actually seen this as I was traveling, and we were talking about it at that time. So I'm absolutely impressed with your team, because you came up with something I think even easier and better than what they had there available. So this is something that anybody would be able to download.
Yep.
And so like the young people that were here, they could incorporate that into their program as well?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep,
All right.
and we'll be working to educate them on it, because
Great.
certainly that is the way that they get information.
Thank you.
Okay, I think, is that the last slide? Yep. And that, Mr. Chairman, concludes your general manager's report.
Thank you.
Your next item is to receive the Nevada Department of Transportation Director's Report. Susan.
Thank you, Executive Director. Just a couple items. We've announced our new director, Rudy Malfabon, and I know that he will also be working to set up his team. With his promotion, that created a vacancy in the deputy for Southern Nevada, and that, excuse me, when Scott Rollins left, that created a deputy in Northern Nevada. So Rudy will be working and setting up his team and probably making that announcement within the next month on those positions. And one other item is that our second design-build project, the Design Build South project, is coming to completion. We are having a ribbon cutting on the 15th of August next week. The governor will be in attendance, LVCVA, because they funded the majority, if not all, of the project, and Tino and RTC will be there. So big party, big celebration on the 15th at 9 o'clock at Town Center, where that is a new alternate, or for us, alternate delivery methods, the design build arena. Our first one was the I-15 North. This is the second. Mesquite is also the other project that we've been working on. So we're pretty excited about looking to alternate design and alternate project delivery methods. So we feel that this one's very successful, and we're going to celebrate. So thank you.
Very good. Mr. Chairman, item number 4 is to conduct a comment period for citizens' participation.
Thank you. This is the time set aside for those wishing to speak on a specific agenda item posted today.
Good morning, Commissioners. Jose Mendoza Jr., President for RTC Local 1637. And we're here in regards to a recent complaint filed with the Department of Labor against the RTC. And I would like to read a statement that we have prepared. And
Mr. Mendoza?
Yes.
Is this on a specific agenda item? If not, we have the normal public comment at the end of the meeting, just to make sure that we're...
Okay, well, basically, it was just on the complaint that was filed, and I would like to address it. If you want me to address it afterwards?
Afterwards, I think
I
that
will
would be
do
more
that then.
appropriate.
No problem.
Thank you. James Romero? And James, is this on a specific item?
Well, I was told it could be either now or toward the end. If it's nothing on the agenda, then I could wait till the end.
Yes, please.
Okay, that'll work.
Okay. Anyone wishing to speak again to an agenda item posted today? Seeing no one, will close that portion.
Very good. Your next item, item number 5, next is consent agendas, which are made up of items number 5 through 34 and may be taken in one motion.
Motion on the floor. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Opposed? And that motion carries.
Item number 35 is to discuss confidential matters related to the Service Employees International Union contract negotiations with management and may be conducted in a closed-door session.
I think I would make a motion to move into closed session. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Opposed? That motion carries. We are now coming out of closed session pursuant to NRS 288.220, and we will move on. Ms. Quigley?
Okay. Mr. Chairman, members of the board, item number 36 is to continue a public hearing for and receive a presentation regarding the collective bargaining agreement between the Regional Transportation Commission of Southern Nevada and the Service Employees International Union. Go ahead.
And we will open up the public hearing. We'll continue that public hearing.
Yeah, just for the record, Mr. Chairman, at last month's meeting, you started this public hearing. There's a motion to continue it. You received a presentation already, and that's a matter of the public record.
So is there anyone here in the audience wishing to speak on agenda item number 36? Now is the time to do so.
Good morning, Commission RTC, Mr. Chair, Larry Brown.
Welcome
This is
back.
item 36, right? Okay.
Yes, it is.
Al Martinez, President of SAU, Nevada, Local 1107. I know you guys are going to make a decision here in the contract, but as you all know, in our last board meeting, we had a lot of discussion about this contract moving forward and the work that our union, our members did, and management, which obviously is pretty much unprecedented. And I think the key thing I want to say, and Councilman Ross, I know you made some points, and all you did. I know there's been a lot of talk about this contract, and to me, it's really upsetting that one contract for a group of members, you're not talking about 2,000 or 3,000 members here, compared to county, UMC, and some other folks, and you're not even talking here about like North Las Vegas, with all disrespect. I mean, look, this ain't North Las Vegas. What we're trying to do here is nothing related to county, all the other municipalities. You're talking about a contract that we try to do something outside the box. And who does this kind of stuff? SCIU does. And my hat's off to Jerry and the work and the folks that were there. I mean, these members are representing these leaders. They voted on it, and they feel good about it. And to me, that's really perturbing, if you will, is that you're looking at a contract. You can't compare this to other contracts. That's apple to apple. You're talking apples to grapes if you want to use something like that. And to try to put us all in the same boat is really bothersome to me. And yes, SCIU has a lot of public groups that we represent. Certainly, I would like to see something like this happen with Clark County, UMC, but it's not. And I can differentiate the differences. I am a county employee. Certainly, I would like to see something for a county employee, but we're not there. And if you look at the mechanisms here, the funding stream, how it operates, it's a totally different ballgame. You're talking an organization versus municipalities. And I just want to say, whatever your decision is, it's going to be hard to take for me personally. I'm not an emotional guy, but I ain't going to swallow it really easy because I do believe we worked really hard to get somewhere that nobody's ever done before. And whatever your decision it is, I'll live with it, and we'll go back and do what we have to do, whatever this is going to happen. But the thing is, I know you got pressures. I know there's a lot of people talking about this contract. I get them all the time. But the main thing is, just remember that this is one contract. And I can tell you, one of your colleagues, without naming names in the county, used to say, well, Health District got this money in the county. Different contracts, different contracts. That's my whole argument. So when you look at it, just remember that we're not North Las Vegas. And we're trying to do something here unlike any other union. And we'll do the best we can to come up with a solution. But please be objective about this process. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Martinez, and welcome back. Anyone else wishing to speak on item number 36?
Good morning, Commissioners. Jose Mendoza Jr., ATU Local 1637, representing almost 1,000 bus drivers and mechanics. I agree with the brother here that this, regarding his contract. If he has a contract and, you guys feel it's appropriate to accept, fine. But we are the ATU, and we have been treated as second-class citizens. We want to be treated with parity, and hopefully, in the future, we can go behind closed doors and negotiate with you. I will save my letter for after closing. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Mendoza. Anyone else wishing to speak on item number 36? We'll close the public hearing component, open it up to the board.
Mr. Chairman.
Councilman Ross?
Thank you. Mr. Martinez, and to your team and to all of the SCIU, you're absolutely right. You guys are thinking outside the box. So much so that almost every government entity and government body is looking at the structure of this agreement. That's how innovative it is. That's how positive and uplifting this looks like. And I want you to know that and recognize that. You're right. RTC staff is not the county, the city, or any of the municipalities. It's different. Our revenue sources are a little different. It is 6% of the RTC's budget. We got a couple of hundred employees. Ms. Quigley, how many?
270 about.
270 employees. Recognize that entirely. This is so forward-thinking, though, that it kind of gives us pause. We're looking at this as other government entities are, thinking, goodness sakes, we might have something here for the years to come, for days to come, with other negotiating bodies, with other collective bargaining groups. That's how innovative this is, and I want you to understand that. And Jerry and his team, and Ms. Quigley and her team have done a phenomenal job. We're still at that point, though, where we're still not convinced that this economy is going the direction we need it to go. And it's very hard for me to say that because I like this agreement. And you know me, I want to approve this agreement. This is a good agreement, I think. I think it makes sense. I think it's innovative. I think there's great things in here. I'm not sure I'm ready to do that because of this economy.
Councilman Ross, and I apologize.
No, Mr. Chairman.
As I close the public hearing on number 36, I need to open, if we could read number 37 into the record, and I do apologize.
Mr. Chairman, item number 37 is to approve and authorize the chair to sign the collective bargaining agreement between the Regional Transportation of Southern Nevada and the Service Employees International Union, SEIU Local 1107, effective when approved by the RTC Board of Commissioners through June 30th, 2017, or take other action as appropriate and direct staff accordingly.
Very good.
Now may I continue?
Councilman, thank you.
We want to get there. I think we, as the board of the RTC, want to get there. We just don't know exactly how we want to get there just yet. In light of what we've already been presented, I think it's phenomenal, and I want to move forward. Speaking as a city councilman that represents, 600,000 people in the city of Las Vegas, as well as Councilwoman Tarkanian, we want this to go. We want this to happen, but I think we have to pause for a minute because we're looking at our own budget issues, as every government entity here is doing the same. The principality of this, and I mentioned this at the last meeting, that the principle of increases are challenging right now, extremely challenging when, and Ms. Quigley, I'm going to put you on the spot with the chairman's permission, your executive staff, when is the last time your executive staff had any kind of increases?
Would have been late 2007.
2007?
We skipped in 2008, yeah.
And if I may continue, Mr. Chairman, Councilwoman, I think at the city we're at the same. Our staff, executive teams haven't had any increases?
Oh, excuse me, but I would have to say that depends on what you call an increase.
I mean executive staff, executive level.
You're talking about the really top level?
Yeah.
I think I mentioned the vacation time.
Yeah, we've given some incentives. We've given some opportunities out there to, some
I
rewards.
think what
but
we're
they haven't been
trying to
salary
do
increases.
is, I believe that every single person up here feels strongly that you have done a tremendous job in putting this contract together. And it can be a leader, as our councilman said, it can be a leader. And what we're trying to do is see if we can move this all together in a way that we can show the same leadership. But there are complications because we're dealing with other entities also. And we hope you understand that, and I hope that makes you understand that we think no less of what you've done, because we think just as highly. But there are things we need to do to pull it all together the right way. And I believe that's what we were talking about.
Well, I concur with Commissioner Ross and Commissioner Tarkanian. Our employees here have done more with less. We've asked them to adjust to the economic downturn here in our community, to work closely with us, and all at the same time they've preserved customer service, and I think that makes a real difference to our consumers, that you've never dropped the ball, even though we've asked more and more of you. Clearly, the contract that you brought forward is innovative, and I think that we're all going to learn something from this contract and the process of this contract. My concern, again, along with Commissioner Ross, is that we're still in a financial crisis and we're not out of the woods yet, and we appreciate your working with us to get through these difficult times so that we can all share in something more positive in the future.
Commissioner June Kiliani.
Thank you. I think everybody up here echoes it, and this is very difficult because I'm quite comfortable with this contract, and I do appreciate the fact that your members also voted to adopt it overwhelmingly, which says that not only the leadership of SEIU, but everyday working folk recognize that these are different times and wanted to think out of the box. So for that, thank you. But I do think as a board, we have to spend a little bit more time fleshing out what these numbers need to be. So I'm going to suggest that we give additional direction for Jerry and staff to continue to meet with SEIU and see if you can flesh out some additional information. So that would be my motion or direction, Mr. Chair.
Mr. Chairman. Okay, Mr. Chairman, may I just come on with?
And that motion will stand on the floor.
Okay.
Councilman Ross?
I just want to add this, so the public and ATU and SEIU and anyone who cares about what we do at the Regional Transportation Commission understands what a caring group of people these are in regards to the people we serve, in regards to transportation, the people who work for us. And I saw that demonstrated to me this morning, and I just want my colleagues to recognize that. I appreciate that because you care about what you're doing for the benefit of our community, the benefit of our employees. And Mr. Martinez, great job. We're not done yet, and I think we're going to get there, though. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
So the motion on the floor, Commissioner G, is to direct staff to continue meeting with Local 1107. Okay. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? That motion carries.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Your last item is to conduct a comment period for citizens' participation.
Mr. Mendoza, you've been very patient today. Thank you. This is time set aside for the public to make comments to the board. Anyone wishing to speak to the board, please step to the
I just
front of the
made
room.
here the original, Mr. Chairman, and it's to go on record in public regarding our concern and concerns of the bargaining unit, which is almost 1,000. The ATU says to the...
Mr. Mendoza, excuse, do you want copies made? or do you
No,
want
that's just for
put
you
into
to
the
put in a
public
public record. Yes, please. We start with the ATU says to the RTC commissioners that you're waking up a sleeping giant should you continue your path of destruction to the hardworking class citizens who work for public transit, specifically the subcontracting of fixed routes and maintenance. Mr. Commissioner, you're aware that our legal counsel has filed on our behalf a 13C complaint against the RTC for violating that agreement set forth on September 21st of 1994. ATU Local 1637 is asking Senator Reid and Congresswoman Berkeley to stop all federal funding to the RTC that has been requested from the federal government for public transit. In addition, we are asking our international union to also do whatever it takes to stop the RTC's federal funding. For the past several months, the ATU has been complaining and alleging of this 13C violation, but went ignored. Since the RTC ignored the ATU's seeking full legal expense, the ATU will be seeking full legal expense for reimbursement to our legal counsel on this, because we have been addressing it to the RTC. We did meet with Mr. Commissioner, Mr. Ross, regarding the splitting of the system, and we never agreed that we would provide the RTC, in our opinion, which is a dirty work, to provide the list of operators and mechanics at which yard they want to operate. Right now, under the current CBA, we enjoy the selection we want to work at, either Simmons Yard or Sunset Yard. We believe this is creating chaos. If you move on splitting the system, the buses will not move if we do not have a CBA with those who you select to be our temporary employers. It has been brought to our attention that the RTC has already made up their minds that First Transit will get a yard, and in addition to that yard, Teamsters will be claiming or wanting to claim representative rights to the bargaining unit, since they already represent paratransit. Right here, I feel that this bidding process is supposed to be fair, and it appears that RTC is violating ethical practices, to include that a former chairman of the RTC is a consultant to a bidder, and his son-in-law was dictating to the commissioners the direction of public transit. Jacob Snow refused to recognize the ATU to negotiate with the RTC, but yet the SEIU has been recognized by the RTC. In closing, as a veteran of the military, I've always respected the motto of the Marine Corps, the few, the proud, the Marines. The ATU has a motto that we created for the 270 RTC employees, the few, the proud, and the well-paid. And this is not personally attacked against the SEIU, but we want parity. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Mendoza. Mr. Romero. And thank you likewise for your patience.
Good morning, RTC, the council. My name is James Romero. I'm sure you guys see me. I'm getting a little frustrated. I've been coming here for the last 4 or 5 months. Also, I'm a Teamster. We care about what's going on at First Transit. And every time I've been coming here and addressing my concerns, nothing is being done. You know, you talk about customer care, providing for our citizens, stuff like that, which we take our job, where the drivers take their job very hard. Their philosophy is give 110%. But what they're feeling right now is, if any one of you were on the bus right now, some of these policies we have that have been adopted through, whether it's RTC or First Transit, if one of you were on the bus right now, and we're taught to greet the customers when they come on and off the bus, and if you were to happen to lose your stepping or attempt to, or if you were by accident going to fall, us as drivers are there to assist you so nothing happens to you. But with our company, First Transit, that if that happens and we stop you from hurting yourself or any one of these clients, and if the driver is subject to getting himself hurt, that with the incompetent management that we have right now, the drivers are subject to termination because they're doing a good thing, but yet if they get hurt in the process, they are terminated. And this is some of the things that the drivers are tired of. We're tired of the racial profiling. We're tired of the selectively enforcing the policy. We're tired of the discriminating of the disabled veterans that are working there. It's getting frustrating. I've been coming here, and it seems no one takes my opinion. We need some type of intervention to come down there and not talk to First Transit or the general manager that we have no respect for, but it's to talk to the drivers and the union and whatever, because this is frustrating. Believe me, I have better things to do than come here and than not come here and tell what's going on. We are the people at the bottom that make you guys all look good. How about looking out for us? And my last thing is, if this doesn't continue, if this continues what's going on, talking to drivers and some of them that are just disgruntled and just hate their work, we do not need another tragedy that's been happening, and we know what's going on, what happened in Wisconsin with this, people who just are tired and frustrated. We need someone to come in and step in and talk, because we're not getting anywhere with our management. There are the problems. So please, again, I ask you, can somebody come down there and talk, because it's getting out of hand. We already know how the economy is, but when you have a company who doesn't care and we're expendable, we go, someone's there to take our place. And this is where people and families who love to work and want to work, but know that they have a job security and not coming to work and be harassed. And it starts from the top, from our management, then that all needs to go. Please, send somebody down there. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Romero. That's all the cards I have, so anyone else wishing to speak to the board, please step forward.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Sam Santoria. I'm an American citizen exercising my First Amendment right. You don't care about my job, so why should I care about yours? Can the RTC explain to me the need to split the current bus system into two separate systems? What will the savings be to the taxpayers, and what will the cost be to the approximately 1,000 employees and their families who work it now? Will splitting the system save at least $50 million, which is what First Transit's bid was last year? Not only was their bid $50 million in savings, it was accepted by the RTC. Then the county commissioners got involved. Final vote 4-3, First Transit wins. Then the Veolia lawyers get involved and say the vote was illegal. So the 7 commissioners that oversee the contract proposals were not aware they needed 8 votes? I'll get back to the commissioners in a moment. Splitting the system without regard for me and my coworkers will be a big mistake that you might not be able to correct. I will refresh your memories to just a few of the RTC most recent mistakes. Remember when you had the Deuce bus turn at Sahara, ending at Palace Station, instead of finishing downtown Fremont, where the tourists were actually heading for? How about the Ace Express bus to downtown? That was a good job by RTC marketing to come up with the name Ace to go along with Deuce. Problem was, the name Ace was trademarked, and the RTC spent about $1 million of taxpayers' money to settle with Ace Cab, remove the name Ace from buses, stops, and engraved in stone in the transitways. By the way, you still didn't learn from your mistake, because I can still trademark the names Boulder Highway Express, Henderson Express, and Sahara Express. Speaking of the Henderson Express, hasn't anyone figured out this was a route that was created to get Jacob Snow to and from work? Then you created the Sahara Express, which in my opinion is a service reduction, since you eliminate 1 stop per mile. But your marketing people call it Express, and who will know the difference? You screwed up the Charleston route and the Sahara route to create this Express route. You put some travel times that are impossible to achieve, and all's well, right? No, it's not. When you had the Deuce bus going to Palace Station, you were forced to change it back within 72 hours. Now you're going to fix the problem you created with Sahara Express in September. Your marketing department could take a bag of manure and call it potpourri, but still bullshit. Just like the splitting of this system. The RTC received millions of dollars in stimulus money to buy buses and build transit lanes. Can the RTC explain why they felt it was necessary to purchase buses outside the country? Isn't this money used to stimulate our economy? This country needs stimulus, and you dropped the ball on bus purchases. My point is the RTC makes plenty of mistakes, and I just want them to think of the consequences of their actions. It's funny that instead of firing your people for major mistakes, you try to give yourselves higher wages and better benefit package. That's unbelievable. Commissioners, now it's your turn. Can you explain how you voted 4-3 last year to award First Transit the contract? Your votes went 4-3 for First, then 4-4 deadlock, then 8-0 to split. Are you afraid of doing your jobs for fear of offending a lobbyist? Commissioner Larry Brown said last year you had a relationship with Veolia for years. I'm from Chicago, and there you'd be asked, could you put a price tag on that relationship? To help out the company of your choice, you all decided to change the point value in the bidding process. I'm glad that you don't have input in sporting events. Some days it's 3 strikes, you're out, and if it's your guy who strikes out, change it to 4 strikes. As for changing of the point value, how's this one? Any company who wants to bid on RTC contracts must be an American company. Otherwise, they move to the bottom of the list. Please don't say you can't do it, because you're already saying you can by changing the point value. And last but not least, when you voted 4-3 last year to award the contract, the First Transit, of the 7 commissioners who voted, not one of you knew it wasn't a legal vote? At the very best, you're incompetent, or at the very worst, corrupt. Whatever the case, you should all be out of a job. I really mean, it's hard to vote on the facts. It's not that hard to vote on the facts in your special interest. Since you're all okay with outsourcing jobs and money, why don't we outsource all of your jobs to some call center in India? We only need 7 people, so there'll never be a tie, and they could teleconference their votes here on the 2nd Thursday of every month. Unlike some of the commissioners, they will make all the meetings and not say there was a prior commitment. This is your job. I will be asking my union local to organize and try to dislodge you from office. It takes an army of people to get out and support another candidate. None of you deserve to represent the public. Good news is you could always drive a bus. Just get used to no meal breaks, no bathroom breaks, and working for people who do not honor written agreements. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good morning. I'm Patricia Anderson. I've been supporting the bus drivers since 2000. As far as, he said actually what I was going to say really, breaking up the yards will be a mistake. They need more lunchtime. The Charlton route, I'm glad it's going back to route because it's really it's really chaos. And you have good drivers, and I think you need, I need you to just really respect them all. My thing is, again, the splitting up of, like they said, the yards, let it stay alone because we're making too many mistakes. We need to just stop. And as I said, because you have good, like I said, like I told you before, I'm from New York City. If you respect the driver, you'll have so many drivers you won't know what to do with them. We have to respect them. They need more recovery time because they're going up to all the way from Sahara, all the way up there to Red Rock. They need more time, okay? So respect them all, and you'll have good drivers. Have a good day. Have a nice weekend.
Thank you. Is there anyone else wishing to speak to the board this morning?
Good morning, Commissioners.
You can pull that mic down.
Sure. Good morning, Commissioners. My name is Barbara Powell. I am the elected Vice President of Local ATU 1637. I am a 16-year employee of Veolia. I am the first woman here to accomplish the 1 million mile mark. I have now stepped into my 2 million mark. I say that to give you some credentials as to who I am. The work that you do is Much of it is commendable. I'm here basically right now to offer a challenge to each of you, and especially to you, Ms. Quigley. I implore you to come ride with me 1 week, if you can stand it. Ride with me 1 week from start to finish to see what it is that I do. And I do it well, as I said. My credentials prove that. You sit and you come up with all of these designs and plans and things like that for us to implement, but yet you don't give us the respect that we deserve for implementing all of the things that you put down on paper. You cannot do what it is that I do. Probably the same as I would not basically be able to do what it is that you do on paper. But I implore you, come ride with me 1 week. 1 week. Miss, each of you, and especially you, Ms. March. And I would like for someone to please pass that on to Mr. Haffen, who isn't here. He really needs to come and ride with us, too. Oh, are you here? Excuse me. Please, please, I implore upon you to come and experience what it is that we do. And then you come back and you take your votes. There makes no sense in splitting the system. Is there an economic reason as to why that's being done? Let us know at the end. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for the comments. Anyone else wishing to speak to the board? Seeing no one?
I want to make one more comment,
All right, it's a quick one.
and this is very quick.
Reintroduce yourself.
I've been riding all the buses. I observe the buses, and trust me, you need to ride.
Thank you. All right. Thank you all for your patience this morning. This meeting is adjourned.